Ladies and gentlemen, if we could just have your attention for a moment, please. First of all, you're all very welcome here this morning. Before the ceremony commences, and for your own safety and comfort, we'd like to bring to your attention the following information. There are 7 exits in the auditorium, 3 exits to the rear of the auditorium, and 4 behind me here to the front of the auditorium. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please proceed directly and calmly to the exit that is nearest to you. When exiting a building, please do not use the lift. Once outside the building, you are asked to proceed to the green area over here, which is Assembly Point G. In preparation for the ceremony, I would ask guests to please turn off their mobile phones, and please be aware that this event is being live streamed and photographed. Now, I would like to ask everybody to please stand for the graduates procession. If you can all remain standing for the academic procession. Thank you.
Please be seated. Ian Erica, Agrina Uishla, Foil to Roiv, Gadian Sharman Shaw, in a run for Davachtani or the Dakish or Aulamori and Kalashta. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this graduation ceremony at which third level awards will be conferred on learners of Griffith College, Dublin. I'm also delighted to welcome graduates and their guests who are not in a position to attend in person and who are joining us online. Our panel members include Professor Diarmaid Hegarty, President of Griffith College, Ronan Fenlon, Director, Dr. Wasim Akhtar, Head of Computing Science, Barry Denby and Dr. Fahim Bukatwa, Programme Directors in Computing Science, Stephen Roberts, our Head of Marketing, along with Programme Directors and faculty lecturers involved in the delivery of our programmes. I'm Dr. Tomás McGuckagan, the College's Director of Academic Programmes, and I'm delighted to have the pleasure of being your MC for this graduation ceremony. Con túsa Carlesh na Himachtaí, Iarmanish Aaron Tullif, Diarmaid Hegarty, Uachtarán Colashta Griafa, Lauertling, Her Ceann and Colashta. I would like to begin the proceedings by inviting Professor Diarmaid Hegarty, President of Griffith College, to deliver a conferring address.
Distinguished guests, graduands, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say, it's great to see you all here today. Last year our ceremony was online, and after all that you've been through to achieve what you achieved today, the least you deserve is a day out, and it's great to be able to be here to celebrate with you. I have to say, looking around me, all that's missing, in fact, from everybody is a hoodie and a pair of sunglasses, and I'd have a perfect gang of bank robbers. But hopefully, in fact, we'll be leaving the masks and indeed all of the other precautions that we have to take in the world of COVID behind us sometime in the not too distant future. For the moment, okay, we have to have a regard to health and safety. So today is your day, and the realization of life's dreams and ambitions is like a journey through a mountainous terrain. Each struggle to a new peak is rewarded with a clear vision of the way ahead. And today we celebrate your conquering that first peak. Graduates, today is your day at the mountaintop. Savor this moment and the vista it gives you, and let its joy live in your memory for life. Remember, however, that during these difficult journeys, we are guided by the experience and dedication of others. Your guides were family, partners, and friends who shared your trials and tribulations, who prepared meals for you, who put up with your inevitable but hopefully few cranky moods, and those who so readily accepted the stress you were so relieved to pass on. Now, in the time-honoured tradition of Griffith College, I'm going to ask the parents, partners, families, and friends to stay seated while the graduates stand up. Now, I'd ask you, the graduates, to turn to your parents, families, partner, and friends. They are behind you. And I want you to express thanks for the support you received over the years by acclamation, applause, cheers, or however you like. Please sit down. I know you thought it was your day. But we do like, in fact, to remember everybody who has contributed. But anyway, from my point of view, if anybody asks me how the graduation speech went, I can say it was interrupted with applause. As president of the college, you would also want me to acknowledge the work of my colleagues as members of boards, as heads of faculty, as lecturers, administrators, and librarians, whose work contributed to your success today. Today, I want to look at the COVID landscape through which you have travelled and how it has challenged you and changed us all forever. You've faced many trials, including some here, including for some, the grief of loss of someone dearly loved. We ourselves lost our chairman, Frank Scott Lennon, to COVID last month. Not just a close friend for over 40 years, Frank was a mentor and inspiration to us all. We were inspired by his courage, his tenacity in fighting illness for so many years, and his piercing objectivity applied to the resolution of many conflicting situations here in the college. We describe our loss in these words: the unrelenting minute he filled with service done, our Maker's meaning in it, so his life was run. Farewell, you Christian soldier, your courage ne'er undone. Rest well, you Christian soldier, for you life's battle won. And many people in the audience who have lost somebody, some close relative or friend to COVID, I'm sure will relate to these words and will understand the depth of grief occasioned by the loss. Our thoughts and our condolences are with them. We're currently living a worldwide track that has changed our lives beyond recognition. We never anticipated that the 21-day global lockdown would actually go on for months and turn our lives upside down. We started doing things differently. We needed to be creative and work with what we have, and started witnessing some historic changes worldwide. While COVID-19 engrossed us in its fear, it also helped us see the world with a new lens. We realized that the value of our communities, how much it means to us, and we realized the importance of life and what truly matters in it. We had to unlearn old patterns and realize that happiness lies in little things. Simple things we overlooked months ago, like a hug or calling over to our friends or family. Those simple things we took for granted. We now look forward to every single day. This pandemic taught us it is time we appreciate our close ones and be grateful for what we have, and reminded us that life is fragile, that it's time to work together and lift each other up. These past months, we've witnessed a vast sea of kindness and compassion in our communities around the world, and has led to countless acts of selfless heroism in hospitals and care homes. It has encouraged many of us to use our ultimate strengths to serve our greatest purposes, suddenly giving our lives new and inspiring meaning. Among other things, the pandemic has required us to draw on skills and attributes such as adaptability, resilience, positivity, tenacity, and empathy. And we've been so fortunate to see our planet heal, if only temporarily. On your graduation book, inside the front cover, you will see 2 satellite images of Beijing, before and during lockdown. The air pollution covering a substantial part of northeast China is indicated in color. As the skies cleared up, you will see in the second image, how in fact the pollution was cleared. And we fully appreciate thus the impact of pollution on our planet, as everyone, including Mother Nature, took a breather. Also, we were true to our homes. Wildlife took to our streets with no fear of losing their lives. Again on your graduation booklet, this time inside the back cover, you'll see an image of a fox wandering through Grafton Street in broad daylight. Don't think he'd be doing it today, but he did during lockdown. He seems to be heading for the Bailey. I wonder, did you think it was Johnny Fox's? Unfortunately, nobody told him the pubs were closed. The pandemic's most important lesson has taught us to let nature heal itself and not to take it for granted. Our planet is all we have. We cannot exploit it more than we have already. But then, in March 2020, in a very short period of time, you had to adapt to an entirely new way of learning due to the COVID pandemic. Gone was the ability to sit in lectures and labs with your fellow students. Isolated at home, online classes required you to become more independent in your studying and assignment work. It is a testament to your adaptability that you survived and thrived in this independent way of learning. These skills will serve you well in your respective careers. Your learning will be lifelong as you independently upskill as your field changes over coming years. And when learning skills forced on you by COVID will serve you well. As the COVID generation, you've largely had to acquire these valuable skills yourselves, and nobody can take this from you. This global pandemic has forced us to embrace the dawning of an era of agility and resilience. in the face of severe adversity. We had no other choice but to face the challenges head on and adapting to our ever-changing circumstances. Pre-COVID, we were already understanding the greater need for agility in an ever more volatile, disruptive, uncertain and complex world. The pandemic vastly intensified these conflicting forces, and the disruption forced us to embrace agility for our betterment. The turbulence made it necessary to challenge the status quo and reinvent how our world can function. You've risen to this challenge, and hopefully throughout your lives will continue to do so. The COVID pandemic has also affected how we work. When COVID first hit, businesses and enterprises that could adapted to an entirely remote way of working, including innovative ways of customer service, such as 5-star restaurants transformed to food trucks. Many of these changes are here to stay. I'm not so sure about the food trucks, but certainly remote and hybrid working are here to stay. COVID has also seen rapid innovation, particularly in the medical field, with the advent of mRNA vaccinations originally developed for COVID, now being trialled for malaria and HIV vaccines currently under development. An innovative educational challenge is the expansion of apprenticeship-type learning from the traditional trades to administrative and professional work. The major challenge is to change people's attitudes to apprenticeships. People consider apprenticeships as only relevant to the trades, and in particular the building trade. Whereas in countries like Germany, leaders of our major multinationals started life as apprentices. Griffith is already the education provider for 2 national apprenticeships in healthcare and bar management. Allied to this are the development of micro-credentials. These are awards for individual modules of courses, allowing learners to learn at their own pace, to try courses in a different field and to enhance their skills further. Your COVID-acquired skills ideally place you to exploit micro-credentials. Ireland is being held up globally as a shining example of determination and solidarity. How, as a society, we faced COVID head-on. Clear messaging emanated from the government and health authorities, followed by the imposition of appropriate restrictions, eased and reimposed in a fluid fashion as circumstances required. The common focus and lack of divisiveness was heartening and reassuring. The government approach seeking buy-in, rather than being heavy-handed as in other jurisdictions, elicited a very positive response, resulting in a high level of compliance with sometimes extraordinary restrictions. And this aided to flatten the curve and allow for the gradual easing of restrictions. But I have to say, as the number of COVID infections increased rapidly, we need to be cautious. We need to assume this buy-in. The various financial support schemes costing over $12 billion since the start of the pandemic have demonstrated to us the value of solidarity throughout Europe. Your mission is to pass these lessons of solidarity, agility, and resilience to the next generation. In this respect, this year's graduates are in good company. Griffith students have won external awards across all faculties, including ACCA, that's accountancy first place in the world in strategic business reporting, scoring 94%. That's the highest mark worldwide out of 8,395 students worldwide. Another student won the Gallery of Photography Graduate Award 2020. And again, I would just like to say that this year we actually have quite a number of graduation ceremonies because we have the pleasure of including people from the 2020 who missed the graduation last year in our ceremonies this year. You're very welcome, and we're delighted to have the opportunity to celebrate your success, albeit a year late. Another student won the S Media Photography of the Year award, or 2 separate students in 2019 and 2020. One graduate has won the Public Relations Institute of Ireland Young Communications Professional Award of 2021. Another has won Video Journalist of the Year Award under the S Media. In film, a student has won Best Film Documentary Short at the Prague International Indie Film Festival in 2021. Another, Best Film at LGBT Toronto Film Festival, at Best LGBTQ Documentary at Venice Shorts Festival. Official selection at the Indie Shorts Festival in Cannes, and official selection Montreal Independent Film Festival. Another design student was shortlisted for a Future Makers Award by the Design and Craft Council of Ireland. and yet another design student shortlisted for the Institute of Designers in Ireland Graduate Design Awards. So you are in good company, and no doubt we will see the same, okay, of your progress over the years. And as regards your career prospects, specifically for those in computing, growth of the Irish economy is evident from the news that Ireland remains on the shortlist for billions of euros investment by Intel, by the increasing number of high-growth tech companies setting up in Ireland or continuing to scale up their operations and internationalize their operations already established in Ireland. Examples of recent new investments include the advent of TikTok and Riot Games opening a new remote broadcast and content production centre in Dublin, the Irish-led Sunry raising 50 million for cloud security platforms, announcements of new jobs in IT and pharmaceutical sectors, and regular occurrence. These are regular occurrence almost on a weekly basis. Now, for those of you who have become accustomed to working online, we are suggesting a note of caution, and we offer you the following back-to-work guidelines. And these are particularly for operation in the company meeting room where you will be physically present. Number one, do not attend in your dressing gown. You'll be unable to turn off the camera. Number two, do not share with your colleagues that your boss is talking rubbish. You'll be unable to go mute. Number three, do not point out that the sound is all clear at your end. And number four, do not make faces in response to ridiculous suggestions by your boss, as you cannot go off video. Number five, do not offer to switch on sharing. And number six, do not offer to host a meeting, particularly if it's already being chaired by your boss. And number six, do not say that a document was not attached, particularly when you've been given it physically earlier in the morning. The new world of being in the office awaits you, or no doubt is already embraced by you. Computing science is an incredibly dynamic discipline, as you well know. Computing science graduates' readiness as specialists is evident from their projects, which range from predicting house prices, network threat detection backed by machine learning, so important now in the light of what we've recently experienced and what the HSE has recently experienced. Modeling how computer viruses self-modify to evade detection tools, also very important. Educational websites, mobile apps to help busy parents, rich interactive websites that explore such topics as sustainable living and the fight against climate change. We expect to see more applications of machine learning and artificial intelligence based on platforms such as IBM, Watson, Google TensorFlow, DeepMind, Microsoft's Azure Machine Learning, and robotic process automation. And these will be improve productivity and achieve enhanced digital transformation. To our German graduates, wir begrüßen all unsere deutschen Studenten und ihre Familien, die gekommen sind, und gemeinsam mit ihnen zu feiern. We're delighted to have many Indian graduates qualifying today. Also, our Nigerian graduates. My people in Niger, how far? How you day? No wahala. We too have our challenges. Key to the value of your award today will be our national degrees becoming Griffith College degrees, under delegated authority to make our own awards. And there should follow from this university status, which is now open to the Institute of Technology through amalgamation. And given our size, it should be open to us. We too have to have faith. Now, as you glimpse the world from your current mountain peak, may I express the hope that over your period with us, Griffith College will have found a place in your heart as you have in ours. I want you to know that you're always welcome on campus, socially, educationally, or just to show off the new BMW. Knowing actual fact people in computing science is probably a Telsa. But may I conclude by congratulating you again on your success and by wishing you may harness the knowledge and experience you've acquired here in Griffith College to achieve what you richly deserve, a successful and fulfilling career. Thank you.
President, it is the wish of the College to confer a Professional Excellence Award. I call upon Stephen Roberts, Head of Marketing, to present Stephen O'Leary for the Griffith College Professional Excellence Award.
President, distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to present to you Mr. Stephen O'Leary, Managing Director of Olitico, for Griffith College's Professional Excellence Award. Data has been described as the new oil. It lies at the heart of the 21st century economy and is the bedrock for so many of the technology companies that are household names today. Data presents unique opportunities, both for Ireland and globally. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, automation, and machine learning in their current form would not be possible without the rapid advances that have been made over the past 2 decades. One of the fastest areas of growth has been in social media. We have seen this clearly in Ireland. Indeed, here in our own city of Dublin, we have the European headquarters of Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Google, and LinkedIn. As of October 2021, there were 4.5 billion social media users, or 58% of the world's population. 9 in 10 internet users use social media each month, and there are now 7 social media platforms who claim to have more than 1 billion monthly active users. As founder of Olitico, Stephen and his team make sense of this data. They guide us through the noise, providing transparency at a time when the world is faced with so much misinformation. In doing so, they help ground our views and opinions in fact. Since its inception in 2009, Olitico has developed a reputation as one of Ireland's leading social media analysis firms. Their clients include household names across a wide range of industries, including consumer brands, public sector bodies, state agencies, creative and media businesses. And this is a testament to the rigor and insight that Stephen and his team bring to their work. From real-time listening and news media monitoring to the identification of social influencers, Olitico are recognised as one of the best in the business. Stephen's links with Griffith College are long and deep. Firstly, as a student of the college, where he studied for a BA Honours in Journalism and Media Communications and a postgraduate diploma in Training and Education. Then, subsequently, as a lecturer with Griffith's Media faculty, where he focused on the areas of online journalism and media. In 2014, Stephen was awarded the President's Award for Academic Teaching Excellence by the college. The philosopher Will Durant, citing Aristotle, wrote that excellence is not a singular act, but a habit. Stephen has demonstrated excellence across a range of disciplines. In addition to leading Olitico, he is the incoming Vice President of Dublin Chamber of Commerce and a board member at Anu Productions. He will take up the President's role at Dublin Chamber in 2023. Stephen's colleagues at the Chamber describe a business owner and founder always looking to share his knowledge, someone who brings a unique perspective and whose intelligence and insights are highly regarded. Listeners to News Talk will be familiar with Stephen from his regular commentary on Bobby Kerr's radio show, where he explains what the country is currently talking about on social media. When a story grows on social, Ireland's largest media outlets regularly turn to Olitico for analysis and insight. Fans of the GA will be familiar with Stephen and Olitico too, where his company powers the social media wall at Croke Park on All-Ireland final day. Stephen is a Cork native. He went to school in the town of Carrigaline. His potential was evident from a young age when he joined the World Economic Forum's Young Global Shapers, a network of people under the age of 30 working together to address local, regional and global challenges. The Global Shapers community now spans 150 countries. Stephen is married to Hilary and father to 2 young girls, Annalise and Ruthie. It is clear that this is a family with a strong belief in the power of education. Stephen advises that Hilary is currently embarking on another master's and indeed may already have more qualifications than he has. We live in a time of digital abundance. Twitter generates more than 500 million tweets each day, whilst Facebook users spend nearly 20 hours a month on that platform. Every tweet, post, and interaction generates yet more data. The author and academic Howard Gardner, in his book 5 Minds for the Future, described the importance of the synthesizing mind. one that is able to select crucial information from the abundant amounts available and combine it in a way that provides a coherent whole. At a time when many of us are trying to curate and comprehend this vast sea of data, Stephen's firm acts as a lighthouse, pointing us towards the relevant facts and away from the rocks of hype and misinformation. As a college, we can take great pride that one of our graduates is at the forefront of this analysis. As a business leader and media commentator, Stephen's leadership and insight will stand to us, providing a sounding board for the nation now and in the decades to come. President, for his commitment to accuracy and integrity in the harnessing of data, I now formally present to you Mr. Stephen O'Leary for the college's Professional Excellence Award.
Nish, bhfuil an fáilte go ráibh go dtí an cuid den ócáid in an run for cáilíochtaí náisiúnta agus idirnáisiúnta ar Vic Lane and Coláiste. I now welcome you to the part of our proceedings at which national and international awards will be conferred on learners of the college, and I declare open this awards ceremony. Iram an talamh Diarmategarty, Uachtar an Coláiste Gréfa, cáilíochtaí náisiúnta agus idirnáisiúnta a bhrunna ar na Fowlamórí atá dar Herbert ag an Coláiste. I call upon Professor Diarmategarty, President of Griffith College, to confer awards on the learners of the college presented by the college for that purpose.
May I first explain the significance of this moment in the ceremony? This is the moment of conferring. You will note that, in fact, in my earlier address, I referred to as graduands, and that is the Latin gerund, those in course of graduating. From this act of conferring onwards, you become graduates. That's not to say you haven't earned that already, in fact, through your 4 years of hard work and all the assessments that you've been through and that you have succeeded, the hurdles you've succeeded in surmounting. But this is the actual moment, the formal moment, when in fact the degrees that you have won are conferred upon you. So, har ceann Coláiste Gríofa, agus cóla diabhaí Cailíochta agus Cailíochtaí Éireann, Brillam Cailíochtaí ar Fhealamóirí an Coláiste a bhíonn caidan amach I leithna Cailíochtaí agus Iram go gcuirtear na Fhealamóirí féim a bhráid. Let me repeat that in English for those who do not have Irish as their mother tongue. On behalf of Griffith College and Quality and Qualifications Ireland, I hereby confer the awards on the learners of the college who achieved the standards determined for those awards, and I ask that those learners be presented to me.
Iarmanish Barry Denby, Stewart Clár, Irahori on Daivríomhreachta a chur I láthair. I call upon Barry Denby, Programme Director, to present candidates in respect of the college's Faculty of Computing Science.
Thank you. If I had to pick two traits this remarkable group of computing graduates possess, it would be determination and resilience. When the pandemic arrived, this group of graduates had an abrupt change to an entirely different way of life and learning. They showed resilience by adapting to this new way to carry on learning. They also showed determination to partake and complete their programs despite the new challenges they faced with the pandemic. These are two traits that you should be proud to possess, for they will take you far in your computing life. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge the sad passing of one of our graduates during the pandemic, who will be sadly missed by family, friends, and the Faculty of Computing. However, I do have one final very short lecture for you. Don't worry, you don't need to take notes, and there isn't a surprise exam after it. Today does not mark the end of your learning, but rather the beginning. Computer science develops and changes at a rapid pace. You now possess the skills to be at the forefront today, but also the skills to keep yourself there. Keep your passion for learning and for doing the hard things. For, according to the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, for every hard thing you accomplish, fewer other people are out there doing the same thing as you. And in the limit of this, everyone beats a path to your door because you're the only one around who understands the impossible concepts or who solves the unsolvable problem. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programs in the computing science faculty and who are worthy of the QQI awards. So for the Bachelor of Science in Computing, Pacholo Buenaventura. Einar Hasanova. Hossam Mohammed. Moses Akinwale Oyebanji. Deepak Vijaya Kumar. Daniel Wittmann. And for the Bachelor of Science Honours in Computing, Joshua Asquo Alotti. Anshul Abhijit Atre. Charles Banda. Matthew Barber. Sean Byrne. Arminas Braskus. Gabriel Quingan. Cian Delaney. Carol Doyle. Well done. Keith English. Daniel Fallon. Evandro Gomez Quintino. Dylan Hannon. Gavin Hughes. Mohammed Iqbal. Jonathan Kiernan. Alex Mead Wilson. Stephen Mulgrew. Adam Napier. Echa Morel. Christian Pontes. Anne-Maria Sebastian. Marlon Seifert. Zheng Sun. Oluwadaro Timi Faramika. Neil O'Brien. Owen O'Reilly. Owen O'Reilly. Gavin Person. Yasin Razaki. And President, I present to you the following candidate for the Higher Diploma in Science and Web Development, Rex Ignatius Susai. Thank you.
Iramanish an Dr. Fahim Bukatwa, Stjorahor Clor, Irahori Irkema on Dive Riverokta a Herbert. I call upon Dr. Fahim Bukatwa, Programme Director, to present candidates in respect of the college's Higher Diploma in Science and Computing.
Welcome all, and welcome to the Higher Diploma in Computing. Life as we know it never needed as much computing power as it needs today. And much of our future is controlled by information processing. The day you decided to join our course in computing, I believe you made the right choice. And for that, I thank you for putting your trust and confidence in us. And thank you for making us part of your life for the last year or two. I am certain, and I hope you too are, that we have done our part in getting you through this stage of your life. A life is full of opportunities and challenges. Take the opportunities and face the challenges. You have what it takes to do it. And despite the special circumstances we all went through, I admire how you persevered, how you dealt with pressure, and you put in the hard work, and you made it. Let me assure you that you have more and better opportunities than many around the world. Make most of it. Today, I am honored to stand here and call your names, because I'm very much aware of the effort you have put in order to get where you are today. I know each and every one of you, and I understand it was not easy. I admire your struggle, and I'm very proud of your determination. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the Higher Diploma in Computing and who are worthy of the QQI Awards. Ibrahim Bulaji Akinala. Bulaji Akinshilo. Bruno Borges. Bernardo Castanejera. Thank you. Peter Duvalier. Jonathan Adan dos Santos Pereira de Freitas. Chika Ishuzona Emeka Okafor. Katrina Esposito. Joshua Joseph Gama. Rinis Janovikis. Omar Farouk Muhammad. Iona Tariro Mavuri. Thaddeus Kosisho Kokwo Okafor. Azokaigo Israel Okowoki. Thank you. Okay. Renato Pentaleo. Kunal Dinesh Patel. Hamza Rahman. Suellen Marley Rodriguez. Thank you. Mohan Sai Thota. Shiva Kumar Reddy Vimula. That's the 20 group. And this is the 2020 group. Tanushri Mandal. Cristina Oliveira Silva. Renata Pereira. Hadi Yasser Saleh. Abhigian Sarma Barua. Thank you. Dharshni Manoharan.
As we conclude our conferring of awards, I'd like to invite everyone to give a special round of applause to all our graduates here today and those online. Tá anna has an isig an goláiste dúisna frunha or issue the diary globe bar fiaush wintermock in a quid lane. The college now has the pleasure of announcing a number of prizes which are awarded to graduates who have achieved excellence in their studies. I call upon Professor Diarmaid Hegarty to be there with them as we present their prize to them and capture it in a photograph. The following prizes are awarded in respect of the computing science programmes, and the first is in respect of the BSc in computing. The best academic achievement on the BSc in computing is awarded to Ainur Hasanova. The next prize is awarded in respect of the BSc Honours in Computing Science. The best academic achievement on the BSc Honours in Computing Science is awarded to Matthew Barber. The next prize is awarded in respect of the Higher Diploma in Science in Computing. The best academic achievement on the Higher Diploma in Science in Computing is awarded to Suellen Marley Rodriguez. And we're delighted also to be able to award a prize in respect of a 2020 graduate. This is awarded in respect of the BSc Honours in Computing Science. The best academic achievement on the BSc Honours in Computing Science 2020 is Rasheen Riziki. The final prize and it's a pleasure to be awarding this prize at this ceremony, is a prize for a college-wide best performance of a learner throughout the college. This week we will have 15 graduation ceremonies in Dublin, followed by graduation ceremonies in Cork and Limerick. But this year the Student of the Year is awarded to a computing science learner, and it's in respect of the higher diploma in science and computing. So the best academic performance across the college 2021, Suellen Marley Rodriguez. Now that our graduates have been conferred with their awards, I would like to invite Stephen O'Leary, the holder of the Griffith College Professional Excellence Award, to address the graduates.
Good morning, and thanks to Stephen for the kind words of introduction earlier. It's a little embarrassing, but it is nice to hear. Today is an incredibly important day for everyone in this room. It's a moment of celebration, recognition, and an opportunity to give thanks to those who've supported each and every one of you on your journey to this destination. Events of the last 18 months have meant there have been countless moments, birthdays, weddings, funerals, and graduations that could not be shared. I'm so glad that your graduation is one of the ones that can be shared in person with your family, your friends, your classmates, and your faculty. I'm also mindful that this is only the start of your day, and there is plenty of celebrating to do, so I'll endeavour not to keep you from the celebrations for too long. I am going to talk to you about 3 things that have been central to my life in the 15 years since I sat where you're now sitting. 3 things that I've learned at various stages during that time. 3 things that I hope will resonate with you and you can take with you into your futures. Firstly, our lives are not linear. When I was graduating, life up until that point had been fairly planned out. Primary school, secondary school, college, life was following a pattern that I was familiar with, one that was common to most of my friends. That's not to say there weren't bumps along the way. I'll never forget the morning of the CAO results in 2002. Yes, I am that old. As friends celebrated their offers of college places, I received the letter that everyone dreads. We regret to inform you that you failed to meet the minimum requirements for any of your selected courses. There had been a mistake in my corrections, and it was devastating as I saw friends carry on to college. But what followed was an unplanned gap year, during which I worked, travelled and explored my further education opportunities, including a trip to Dublin for the Griffith College Open Day. And less than a year later, I was a first-year student in the college embarking on my degree in journalism and media communications. But 3 years later, when I sat where you now sit, it's fair to say that aside for some minor diversions, the route to that point had been linear. But the 15 years since have been anything but. The summer after my graduation, I got a job working as a sub-editor in a national newspaper, the Irish Examiner. On paper, this was a dream job, but within a year I realised it wasn't for me. I changed direction and joined a technology company in what was pitched as a management program. It transpired to be a sales job, but the 2 years I spent there taught me new skills, in particular, how to sell. Golf and sport more generally has also played an important role in my life. It taught me the value of teamwork, what collective effort can achieve, the importance of practice, repetition, and what it feels like to win. In 2008, a new sports management agency approached me with an offer to become a sports agent, representing professional golfers on the European and PGA tours. It was, once again, a dream job. Within a month of starting this new job, I knew I had made a mistake. I distinctly remember the moment sitting on the edge of my bed, crying. Why had I taken the risk? Why hadn't I just stayed in the job I was good at? I knew the answer. I had heard the quote from Lewis Carroll. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. I didn't want to look back in 30 years and wonder what if. I spent a year trying to make it work, but in 2009, I became what I would describe as an accidental entrepreneur. Former customers from my time in the technology firm contacted me asking if I knew of anyone offering a service rather than a software solution. They didn't want to license software. They wanted someone to deliver the insights the software provided. I looked around the market. The service didn't exist. So in 2009, in the middle of a recession, I left another job, my third in 4 years since graduating, and set up Olitico. I had no savings, no plan, no experience running a company, no clue. I look back now and realize this was a blessing in disguise. Had I known what was involved in setting up and running a company, I may never have taken that step. I poured my life into the first 6 months, working hard, winning new business, but not fast enough. Age 26, having been financially independent since I was a teenager and had a part-time job, I had to go back to my parents and ask them to help me pay my rent. Suffice to say, this was not the linear path to success I had planned. But then things started to get better. I joined Dublin Chamber of Commerce and began building my network. I produced research on the launch of the Apple iPad. It was that long ago. And the publications BBC and the Washington Post covered the analysis. Still working on my own from my kitchen table, they referred to Olitico as a media analysis firm. It was a moment when I realized it wasn't the size of the company that mattered, it was the quality of the work we produced. Olitico began to gain a reputation as an exciting young company that was producing excellent work. We made the Sunday Tribune Hot 100 for 2011. I stopped having to ask my parents to help paying the rent. In 2012, we won a tender to provide our service to a large semi-state company. I moved into an office. I hired our first employee. She was a Griffith College graduate, obviously. It may not have been a linear journey, but we were growing. And it leads me to my second insight. Bigger isn't always better. When I founded Olitico in 2009, it was a really interesting time in Ireland. The government had just introduced the banking guarantee in an effort to save the Irish economy. We were entering a recession. In lots of ways, it was counterintuitive to be leaving a good job and deciding to go it alone. And yet, I wasn't alone. Across Dublin and Ireland, a new wave of startups was emerging, many of which were founded by young entrepreneurs who had to react to a rapidly changing economic environment. As Olitico grew, one of the best ways to measure success was to compare ourselves to other companies. Every week, a new startup would appear, having raised millions in investment, or announcing they were doubling in size, or opening up offices in London or New York. It felt like we were the tortoise surrounded by hares. The statistic that 90% of startups fail didn't matter. Why weren't we growing like these companies? Why weren't we hiring more people? Why weren't we out raising money and opening up offices in other countries? Bigger was all I could see, and I forgot the importance of better. And we were getting better. We had hired software engineers, just like you, to build really good software. We were focused on repetitive tasks in the business and seeing how they could be eliminated through automation. It was around this time I was introduced to 3 concepts that remain central to our success. Jobs to be done was an idea popularized by Intercom, a now billion-dollar Irish tech unicorn, slightly bigger than us. It was the guiding principle for their software development. What is the job our customer has to do, and how does our product help them to do it? We took this philosophy and used it to inform how we approached the products and services we were creating in Olitico. As our software became more popular, and with mounting new feature requests from customers, I knew we needed to make decisions on what to prioritize. The best advice I got was to outsource anything that could be defined as undifferentiated heavy lifting. Put simply, if Amazon had an out-of-the-box solution, don't try to copy it. Use it and focus your efforts on the element that brings added value, the elements on the fringes that are important to your customers. I also knew I needed help on prioritizing my time. I began working with a coach. She helped me identify my HPAs, my high payoff activities. She set me a goal: spend 80% of your time on HPAs and get much better at delegating or eliminating your low payoff activities. Not surprisingly, with the benefit of hindsight, as we focused on getting better, we became bigger. Today, we're a team of 9. That's 900% bigger than we were when we started at my kitchen table in 2009. We've gone from 1 client in Dublin to hundreds of clients across the globe, including some of the biggest brands in the world. So life isn't linear, bigger isn't always better, and thirdly, people are paramount. I've always enjoyed spending time with people. I am most definitely an extrovert, and I feel most energized when I'm with others. Knowing this, I've sought out opportunities to spend time with people. When I was leaving Griffith as a student, I remember talking to people in the faculty and asking about pathways to teaching. They knew I was interested, and in 2011, I returned to Griffith as a tutor, attending lectures and then facilitating tutorials with students. I quickly realized that teaching was something I enjoyed, and the college enrolled me on a training and education course to give me the foundations to transition from tutoring to lecturing. In 2013, the opportunity emerged to teach an online journalism class in the college. Having studied journalism, worked in both a newspaper and an online media monitoring company, and now running a growing social media analysis business, teaching online journalism felt like a perfect match. Over the following 6 years, we launched The Circular, an online news site that gave the students a platform to showcase their work, a place they could experiment, build an audience, and learn by doing. The quality of their work was validated externally. The site won the Student Media Awards, and by the time I finished teaching in 2019, had racked up over 5 million visits. Outside of teaching and growing Olitico, I sit on the board of New Productions, the most exciting theatre company in the country, and one of the most talked about in the world. If you ever get the opportunity to see their work, I could not recommend them enough. I have been a World Economic Forum Young Global Shaper, and you can imagine how much fun my friends had when they discovered I was a shaper by definition. I mentioned that I joined Dublin Chamber in 2009 as a way of growing my network. As a startup with few clients and very little money, one thing I did have was time, and I used this to attend as many events as I could. Through the Chamber, my network grew, and in 2015, I was co-opted onto the Chamber Council. In 2018, I joined the Board of Directors. In 2020, I was elected Deputy Vice President, and in 2023, I will be the President of Dublin Chamber, the youngest in their 240-year history. I'm proud of all these achievements, but my greatest professional pride comes from the team we've built at Olitico. There's an old business joke that describes a conversation between a CFO and a CEO. The CFO asks, "What happens if we invest in developing our people and they leave?" The CEO replies, "What if we don't?" And they don't. I've talked about our focus on software, but what differentiates Olitico from others in the market is the quality of our people. We place a heavy emphasis on finding great people to join our team, and once we do, investing in their development. Just as your lecturers invest their time in teaching you, we know that by investing in our people, they will grow, and Olitico will grow. We are currently supporting 2 of our team who are studying on part-time master's programs, with a 3rd set to begin in 2022. That's not to say that all these great people stay forever. It is never nice when anyone decides to leave your company, but I'm incredibly proud not just of the team we have now, but where those we've developed over the last decade have gone on to work. Basketball Ireland, ESB, Indeed, and Google are all home to Olitico alumni. Much like your faculty will follow your professional progress as you update LinkedIn and share your success, I feel incredibly proud whenever an Olitico alumni takes their next step. So in the weeks and months and years ahead, as you take your next steps in life, remember that it won't always be linear. There will be mistakes, disappointments, things will go wrong. But success is not about avoiding these moments. It's about how we choose, how you choose to react to them. Size does not equal success. Bigger is not always better, but if you focus on getting better, on the marginal gains, all those small steps will compound and you will grow. And finally, look around you. No matter what you end up doing, you won't do it alone. People, friends, family, colleagues, clients, customers. People will be key. Invest your time and energy in the people around you and your returns will be greater than you can possibly imagine. Thank you.
Good meal bucket. That was super. Ian Erica, Aguina Uishler, Curram Creirclesh and Sharman Isha, Condavachtani of Runner, Aulamorium Kalashta, Baron Buikas Liv Galair. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony for the purpose of conferring awards on the graduates of the college. My best wishes and thanks to you all. While the graduates are here with us, I'd like to take this opportunity to briefly mention the Griffith College Alumni Network. With over 40,000 graduates living in Ireland, Europe, and over 104 countries worldwide, the network is an excellent way to stay in touch with classmates, fellow graduates, and the college. The network is also proving to be a valuable resource for recent graduates seeking or changing employment. As we move towards the college's 50th anniversary, we're also delighted to see our graduates from earlier years using it to recruit Griffith graduates to meet their own organisation's needs. And thank you, Stephen, for that, and the many others who do regularly. Details about the network are available on Griffith College Alumni Network and from the alumni section of the college's website. Finally, we would like to thank all our graduates and guests for your attendance on campus today and for the many who've joined us online. For those who are joining us on campus today, we regret that we're not in a position on this occasion to invite everybody to stay on and mingle and celebrate together with us indoors over drinks and refreshments as we had hoped and planned. We recognise that health and safety must remain our first priority, and thank you for your support and compliance under these particular circumstances. For now, we wish you every joy and happiness in celebrating your success with your close friends throughout the day. And as a small token, we have boxes of chocolates for everyone as you head out your separate ways. In the future, and hopefully near future, we look forward to meeting you again on campus without restrictions as you continue to develop your successful careers. In the meantime, please stay safe and well. Please stand for the academic procession.